Aloha, I hope you had a good time today. Let's make sure we're in tune. Alrighty. The tie together and the basic connect between what we're talking about today is the things we've learned are with our scale exercise fingers. Whether we're doing just random notes, for a major scale, no matter where we start, those patterns are going to be the same for the majors, they're going to be the same for the minors, they're going to be the same for the diminished when we do them in the same whole tone, half tone scales that we've talked about. Now it's just being able to hear those by ear and play those in conjunction with the songs we're working on. The reason why we chose something simple out of the books is, one, I know it, so I can tell you what the melodies go on, and then two, we can show where the fingers can go and can't go. So when we're playing the B minor, the one finger we don't use is this. However, that is the great finger we can play the second time through if we wanted to choose the melody on the other side of the fingering. Meaning, if I had B, C, is that right? It is. B, C sharp, D, E. If I had those, I would have my first three. If I had B, C, it would be a half step. So B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Meaning, the only notes that I need in the key of B minor, C sharp, are the C sharp and the F sharp. Two sharps, key of D, B minor, same thing. But when we move these different notes up the fretboard, the one note we have to move over is this note, or we could do slides. So depending on where your inversion is and depending on where your melody is, you can do both. Here's what I was trying to get to, case in point. And when we have we can also play those same notes up top in another inversion. So if we're still playing and we have some sort of interesting alternate notes or melodies, we can move those down by a half step, and those are our money notes. So in the key of B minor, the two sharps of F sharp and C sharp, that's where the flair is. B to C sharp can be your rolling note. Your F sharp to G, heck yeah, that's a great sound there. And then your G to your A as well. You could do your step from your B, C sharp, D, E, F, A, G. In those motions, you would have the same notes of your B minor here, your A major here. If you were to take that same A major and B minor and move it up the fretboard, you could still find the notes of, whether it's an octave, what would that be? So it's noble to go up past the 12th fret and trying to find the same melody. Which is interesting too, because you can hit the notes that are actually in this melody up top and you can't down below because you don't have that note except for right there. So what happens is you learn how to play a melody with one lick down here, B minor and the A major. When you have that, you can move it all the way up. If this is an A major and this is a B minor, and we're looking for another A major, we could take the notes we know, like a C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, get my G, G sharp, A. So if we could find this as being our A note, we could actually find the different melody that works up there. The way that we move our scales for the melody inside of a chord structure are, the chords aren't going to change. Generally, they're 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 5. So the notes that you use for a different scale are going to change depending on what the melody is. However, all the notes for that chord are all the same. So if we're going to be playing in the key of B minor and we're doing A major, We can also find the notes up and down the scale by working on those scale notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. When we do this in both keys, B minor and A, we can find ourselves having A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A is being our A major. When we use that same sort of A major scale, we notice it is a major third. You can try your Lydian and you can try your Mixolydian, both of which won't quite work well on here because it is a very major song. However, if you were to play the chords as a different chord, then the melody can be changed. Because you and I have heard Green Sleeves a million times, the melody is the melody. But if I just wrote Green Sleeves yesterday and you had never heard it or the world hadn't, the notes that I would have chose for the melody would have been the notes rather than the ones we've learned. Non sequitur here. If you were to take Happy Birthday and rather than having that in a Ionian major chord and put it into a minor chord and changed all of your major thirds to minor thirds for every chord selection, it would have a completely different overtone and feeling for it. Very, very different from the happiness that we are derived from the Beethoven suite or the Bach suite, I think, the Happy Birthday song. So, long story short, this week while working on these, play your chord and then play your scale that is associated with that note. If you're playing an A major, try to get all those notes that are going to be inside your A. And you'll notice that when chords from a B minor and A are played together, a lot of the notes are a little different, but a lot of the notes are the same. And the things that is really cool is you're only generally missing one or two other chords to complete a thought with these types of songs. The majority of the things that we want to learn are on the right hand rhythms, and when we have that kind of like that chucking kind of feel, we could have a boom cha boom cha boom cha chug it cha chug it cha. I'm doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And on the last up, I'm pushing down on the fingers. It's a good kind of chug. Cool. You can use those different rhythms to inspire your right hand and your melodies. Fun. Anyway, I really enjoyed seeing you today. I'm looking forward to seeing you the week after this next, and we'll talk then. Aloha.